Hello gorgeous, my name is Gia. I'm an etiquette consultant based here in Los Angeles, and here is how to be the most wonderful, most gracious host during an overnight stay. When you have a guest who's staying for a few days or a few months, a few weeks, whatever it may be, here's how to make them feel at home. So first things first is to help with the luggage and suitcases. After a long trip, you're probably exhausted, and you know this personally. So when you help someone with their luggage, if they have a lot or a little bit, help them and guide it into their room, set it down somewhere nicely. And next is to offer them a drink. Every time someone enters your threshold, offer them a drink. If it is simply a water or a juice or whatever you may have, I personally offer tea. It's really easy. It makes your guests feel taken care of. The next is to give your guests some time to rest and ask them the options of what they would like to do. Ask them politely. Be very gracious about this because you have no idea what they have been through on their trip. If they have seen a lot of action and want to rest and calm their mind, or if they want to go see a million things and they're ready to hit the ground running. I want you to collect minis over time. So if you stay at other hotels, if you go to Sephora and or even Nordstrom or Bloomingdale's, when you make a big purchase, you get a ton of freebies, a ton of little samples. You can also go to the mall or the department store. I don't know if they still do this because I know some don't and some do. If you buy a perfume, or if they're trying to give you samples of a perfume, and you can ask them for samples and take them with you. The beauty products I want you to have, they can be hair, skin, and nails. So if you have things like shampoo or conditioner that is extra around the house, that it's perfectly great. I like to personally get something that's really luxurious so that my guest feels, wow, like I don't even have this at home. They get that like five-star hotel amenity stay kind of feel. So I'll get into the more of the 5-star hotel idea in a bit. I want you to have something that they can take care of their hair, something that they can take care of their skin, meaning the basics of cleanser, serum, and moisturizer, or just cleanser and moisturizer, so that they can wash their face first thing. Or you can have what I like to do is have a whole range of different kinds of products in case they like more mainstream products or more green products, so that if they have sensitive skin or a sensitive scalp, then they can take care of that with having different options. And then also have a nail file and a nail clipper. Why? Because in case they're carrying luggage or dealing with all the finagling of all these different types of suitcases in the airport and trying to adjust things, you never know if someone breaks their nails and they're on a trip and they don't want to be a burden and ask you, so they're gonna have a jagged nail and it might ruin their clothes or hurt themselves, scratching themselves. So it's important to have this type of nail care. Have probiotics ready. So when someone travels, especially if they're going quite the distance and internationally traveling, they might have travel tummy. So you want to give them probiotics, and if you have yogurt, offer them that. If you can't afford a non-dairy yogurt, because non-dairy yogurt is really expensive, it's like $6 and up. I know, because I bought some and it wasn't even that good, so disappointing. And I also have probiotics that I use, and I'll have them linked below. I even have a review of it and how it helped me get rid of bloat immediately. If you are a person who has fiber gummies, I prefer to give fiber gummies because you can just take them once. Fiber powder, you have to mix it and it tastes disgusting, and it's a pain and it's messy. So fiber gummies are really easy. They have $10 on Amazon. I'll have some linked below that I personally use when I travel, and it really helps me. Next is to stock the room with this list of things. If you have a majority of these things, if you use these things for yourself or have an extra one, I highly suggest that you stock up your guest room, or even if they're sharing a room with one of your children. What I want you to do is to add a hot water bottle. Why is this? You don't know if someone has travel tummy, or if they have cramps, or if they just feel a little sick, or they ate something because they're not used to the local cuisine, or if it just makes them feel comfortable at night, or in case it's cold. Because I have a room in the house, my office is the coldest room in the whole house, and in my old house, room above the garage was freezing, and we always wondered why it was freezing, and we realized because it's the most protruding room from the house. If you don't necessarily know the temperature in that room all the time, because you might not be staying in the guest room all the time, so it's important to kind of regulate the temperature and modulate with tools. And another thing that can help is a mini air fan. Have it set so that it can sit on the table, and a mini air fan that's about this big, not necessarily the handheld fan, but something that they can just lay down and relax with in case it's really hot and say the AC breaks, or they don't want to use the AC and use up all the power. It's another one. Have hair tools, so have an extra brush. blow dryer. I personally would have tons of hair care products because that's just who I am. I love beauty products. If I do not have it in their guest room, I will offer them personally to use mine that I have in my bathroom. Next is to have hangers. This is a really simple one because everybody needs hangers, but they don't want their clothes to be creased, especially after a long trip of their clothes being smushed in their suitcase. And then you can also have a steamer or iron. A steamer is more gentle. Proper garment care, you iron your clothes and then you put them in your case. Steaming is for after you travel, in case they want to look good and they want to look polished and put together. If you look really good all the time, that they probably want to look good too. I personally offer my clothes and my pajamas to my guests if I know we're a similar size or have something in their size, especially like fuzzy socks. Next is to have slippers in their room. They can be something really fuzzy, really comfy, so that if in case they did not bring socks, or it might be colder to their body because they're not used to whatever local temperature that you are in, it's always comfortable and a safe bet to have slippers, especially within the house. Next is to have a robe. You do not necessarily have to have a robe or a dressing gown. I think it's perfectly optional, but it makes them feel really taken care of when they're in the home, and after they've taken a shower they can relax because they're probably on vacation, so they want to relax. Next, in their room, I think it's really important to have an electric kettle. Why an electric kettle? It's because you can plug it in and it automatically turns off, and they can make tea, they can have water, and it's important to also have water and maybe some cups, like a nice glass, within their room, so that they're not always going all the way to the kitchen or schlepping through and asking you how everything works. I'll get into that some more. And I think it's important to stay hydrated all the time. And when I'm traveling, I always want to have the best quality water because I don't want to get sick. And not just that, I drink a lot of water in general, and it's important to me to stay hydrated. Next, if you can afford this, or if you have one lying around the house, if you want to have a mini fridge, if you want to avoid having there being ants or bugs in your guest room, avoid having food in there. If there's a mini fridge close by in the hallway or corridor, there's one in the garage, and you're upstairs, or the kitchen is upstairs and the layout plan of the house is different, let them know that that's available to them, but that's just an extra touch that is perfectly optional. Next is to have board games, magazines, and books within their room. You want to make sure that they have downtime, that they have different options. They can be local books or magazines. You can also have Vogue and Vogue America. If someone is from Spain, they will have Vogue Spain, but it'll be interesting to have Vogue America, Vogue, the original Vogue. So I think that's really fascinating. And different books, different journals, like a science journal or American journal, American news journal. Board games and card games are always fun when they want to keep busy with downtime, because sometimes people are tired of sightseeing, but they want to be inside and they want to be entertained, and you can't necessarily entertain them the whole time because you might be at work or you might be off doing something else. Next is a map with ideas of sightseeing things to do. And I don't mean go out and print a map. You can do that, but what I want you to do is create a list. This is what I do for my guests. I know I'm extra. What I do is create a list of things that I know that they will love, or things that they will find interesting, and even add more to that of things that I don't know if they will find interesting, say like the botanical gardens or the art gallery or whatever sightseeing, or this theme park, whatever it may be, restaurants even. And I will put a really roughly simple drawn map of all the things that are close together, how long it takes to get there. So if it's 20 minutes away, if it's 45 minutes away, and then a legend with expected traffic in that time and different high times of the day. So if it's 2 p.m. there's going to be high traffic. If it's 6 p.m. there's definitely going to be high traffic. And then after 7:30 is typically when traffic dies down, so this is the best time to go there, or 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. Next, I want to show my guest how the coffee maker and all the appliances in the house work. If I am away, I will have a piece of paper that explains it very simply how to do it, or they can text me, they can call me, but I will most likely show them in person as they are there when I give them a tour of the home and the area that they're staying, especially show them how the coffee maker works, because they might be an early riser or in a different time zone, and you want to accommodate them, but you might be dead asleep. So show them how everything works and show them the rules of the lands. No TV after midnight because the children are awake, or keep it to a minimum level. Where personally, when I was growing up, if we had family over from overseas or from 6 hours away, we would stay up until 2 a.m. and I would still go to school the next day. Show them how all the tech appliances work also. So show them the Wi-Fi password in case they need downtime and to keep up with news from their place that they're from. And also, it's important, you do not know if someone's morning routine is going on a YouTube video to see a Pilates class workout, or if they are going to look at some recipes to cook for something, or if they are going to if they are planning to use a makeup tutorial on YouTube because they want to look good and glam for an event that you guys are both going to. You never know. So give them the Wi-Fi password, and it's important for them to be able to access the news from their place, to be able to download music, to be able to stream things. And I think that's kind of a necessity today. If you have a spare car, or if you can drive them everywhere, do that. I think you can take it to another level and let them use your Uber account or pay for their Ubers. And what you can do is, I personally would drive my guests around or let them use my car because I'm not necessarily going anywhere, or if I have my other car that I can use, that's perfectly fine too. They're taken care of and they can focus on having a fun time on their vacation. Next is to have a fabulous phone charger in their room, or device charger with USB-C and USB capability that is really long. So I have a phone charger that's 15 feet, and then I have a laptop charger that's about 10 feet, and it's really helpful. A lot of chargers are about 2 feet and it's really annoying because they might want to lie on their bed and relax and be off their feet and not stand next to the outlet. You don't know where the outlet necessarily is, or the only one that's available, because all the furniture, all the dressers are blocking that different outlets. So you want to make sure that you have a really accessible time for them to be on their bed or in a chair with a really long charger. Show them snacks or food. If you do not want them to have snacks or food in their room, like if you don't want ants or any bugs, put them in the kitchen, leave them in the kitchen, but make sure you do the grocery shopping ahead of time. I'll get into that some more. Make sure that you show them that there are snacks and food available for them so that they do not feel like they're imposing, they don't feel like they're hungry or peckish, and they don't want to ask you because they don't want to be impolite. They don't want to feel like they're a burden on you. So it's really polite to, I personally would ask them their allergies ahead of time, or see what kind of foods they like, or even give them some food ideas that are local to the area. Next is to do the bed sheets, towels, all the snacks, all the grocery shopping ahead of time. The reason being is, if you are doing the bed in front of them and it takes you 20 minutes, they will feel like a burden. They will feel like they're imposing on your life. So it's important to make them feel at home by showing them that you were expecting them in the first place. That makes them feel loved, that makes them feel very taken care of and comfortable. And you show them that your home is theirs when you truly have everything ready for them, and you say, I remember you told me that you love this and this food. So you are a really gracious host when you are thinking of them and showing that you're 10 steps ahead. The final thing is to have a guest book and a pen. This is something that I think is really fabulous. It's a final touch. You don't have to do this. It's perfectly optional. If you'd like to host people, if you want to start hosting people, let them know and say, you're the very first guest I've ever had here. I'd love for you to sign the guest book. And you can put something funny. It can be one word, 2 sentences. It can be TY, thank you, or it could be a whole paragraph, or fill it up with pages. And it's a nice way to commemorate all the wonderful memories that you've had in this home. I want to show you something that's really old school, that's over 100 years old. This is in German and it's from ancestors. So you're going to see a lot of writing in German that is in a different type of, with different characters, because old German is different from modern day German. It is very, very old, and it is like a vampire book from a movie, but this is a real book. And let me see here. So close the latches. Oh, sorry, there you go. So this is on top of the pen. These are real notes when someone passed away, and you can see the notes. It's better to do them in pen because graphite has a tendency to fade. You will see some in graphite, but this is old German and it's really beautiful. It's crazy. I cannot even read this. Yeah, so that's fascinating. And there are tons of pages that I did not even go through because these are different times. Fascinating. It's so cool because you can pass these down to your relatives and they can be inherited, and it's something that people do not see in their time, so it's really eye-opening. Living with someone is very personal, it's very intimate, and when someone is in your space, you're sharing a lot and you learn about them very quickly. There is a whole checklist for 5-star hotels. I was staying at the Westin Palace in Milan. The whole point of a 5-star hotel stay is that they predict, they assume, they expect you to have desires, they expect you to ask them for all the amenities, so they will have them at hand and ready within seconds. A 5-star hotel typically has a gym. For example, if you do not have gym clothes with you but you want to work out, you can ask them, you can borrow gym clothes from them and gym shoes from them, and they will have them at your door in a beautiful little bag, a little duster, and they will have them ready. And also they expect you to ask for a steamer, to ask for a food. 5-star hotels is that they are known for having fresh flowers, so that's one of the criteria to be a 5-star hotel, to be rated as such. So they have different arrangements. I don't know if it's every day, but I think like once the flowers start dying, but they have to have fresh flowers in their lobbies, in certain rooms, in certain areas of the hotel to be considered a 5-star hotel. The whole point of being a gracious and wonderful host is to make them feel comfortable and at ease that your home is theirs, and you can show them all the little luxuries and all the things that they have at home, that they're not missing anything here. Or if they live very simply, you can show them that this is a little bit of luxury that I can offer you that you might not have at home. So say something that is local to you, they might not have it and they find it absolutely inspired. I hope you try at least a few of these things. These are things that I personally like to do for my guests. If you want more modern manners and etiquette, click the link below and you'll see my blog where I have tons of free tips there. And then I also have my playlist that you can sift through, and they're so much fun. If you want to master social graces, visit dixonetiquette.com and sign up to my free fine dining masterclass link below. Subscribe for a more elegant life. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later.